us. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, folks, and we will be on the way here. Shall we? Can Cranks hold on to P1? Very, very slow off the starting grid here. Actually, he loses out of position to Blurb and Titch in both of the Haas's as they go through turn 1 here. Both side by side here across the entire field. I think there was slight contact here in the back of the grid. There's a AlphaTauri here, and Lani having issues. She's off the track, and also after him, we has spun round. Williams of Brazen Gaming as well spun round as well. Red Panda having a pretty disastrous start off the line here. But both the Haas drivers getting a monumental start over Cranks. He's very slow off the line, just worried about putting that power down without spinning the rear of the car. There was some...
And Nana has moved up above, check ball there as well.
Did you see Cranks having a really, really difficult session here already. He's having to defend against Griever. Griever actually took the position on tractor, but Cranks came back at him and got that position back. You see actually Cranks just going off the race line, ever so sure what's going on. If you do cause an incident, it is on you to resolve it, or try to basically make the judgment to either leave the game or retire. When it's in that, Cranks getting a pretty good move over young Titch, and now Titch is out of danger of losing the position to Griever as well, as Griever and Titch going side by side through the chicane in sector 3. And Titch does come out ahead on track here, but you can see the stick drift and the rear lack of grip.
Lani's in.
So Lani must have damage, and Griever actually getting a better exit here over Titch on the final corner and does capitalise here on the position. We get the worst camera angle in history. And now Titch could potentially be at danger of losing position. Never mind, he's coming back at Griever, but now he's actually having to fend off Ramo as well. Ramo and Titch making slight contact here through turn 3. And actually Ramo has found himself losing not 1, not 2, but about 5 positions here due to that issue of contact here with young Titch. But the position changes across the entire field as Titch does pick up the first 3-second time penalty, and now he's actually under threat here of losing this to Gunza, who is moving up to P5.
And already has a penalty as well, also, sorry.
Oh, did he? Okay, no worries. But yeah, folks, we have some big winners. Young Harv and that Red Bull moving up 6 positions here on the first 2 laps here of this opening Grand Prix. Luke Puki as well, up 6 positions as well. Very good result for both of those drivers. But Harv is having to fight for his life here to hold this P4. He's having to hold up Gunza right now. And Gunza going on the outside, just sticking his nose in here. But if it's not Gunza, it's Titch. You know, he's always having to fight someone here, it seems like, and he can't really catch a break. As Gunza is sticking his nose here on the inside here. And trying to sniff through here. Harv pushes a little bit here, deep on the inside, and kind of closes that gap here. Closes that space here for young Gunza. As we do go towards the top end here, Gunza going for a move again over Harv. Both drivers really struggling for some type of grip. They're trying to find any grip that's on the track that is available. But Harv does come out ahead on track here, folks. Going through the final corner and approaching turn 1, 2, and 3.
And we're looking for a move, and I got a
Titch went for the inside. Titch went for the inside and got 2 positions. They made contact with himself and Harv, and that was a little bit nasty here from young Titch. But he's coming back. He got a bad exit here on turn 3, but got a superior exit over on turn 4.
Ferrari round, and the Williams went into the side of him. Not much the Williams could have done there once the Ferrari went around, and with that we do get the VSC out. Bit unfortunate. It was that Rebel one. Just spanned the car, unfortunately, with the rain.
I don't think they will. But potentially they could. And Harv catches Gunza actually slipping. Or sleeping rather. And he does get on the restart here on the first safety. Get a position immediately over Gunza.
Rebel also... Oh, I think Brazen Gaming had a moment actually because he lost 2 positions. Sure, he may have just went off track there. Loses 2 spots to checkball and Rebel 1. Do you believe Rebel 1 will probably be carrying some sort of
and
side
Gunza goes for a bit of a dive bomb. Sorry to interrupt. Into turn 3. Both Harv, Gunza and Ramo all side by side here, folks, going through turn 3.
A little bit of ghosting there. Is that the griefing ghosting? Is that what it is?
I'm not too sure. I think it might have been. It was a bit of a rough and tumble here, folks. I think that will definitely be investigated after the session. We did transition.
Yeah, it was a set of new enters off, but he was thinking he maybe might go for a new set of full
Rabo's went off. I don't know. Sorry to interrupt. Rabo has been sent into the wall. I'm not too sure whether it was contact between himself and Newton and I or not, but he has found himself in sector 2. Deep in
was
the
very close to reset
gravel.
the track there. Looked like he was very much beat for the first time ever I've seen.
But moving on anyway, actually Griever has found himself catching up here behind both Cranks and Derp within 6 tenths. Titch has found himself leading I want to say a DRS train, but it's not really DRS train because DRS isn't activated, so it's an ERS train. It's a titch train for himself, Ramo and Gonza. As Ramo is going for a move on the outside, trying to sneak his front wing just on the outside here off titch and making titch aware, and he is there in behind. But it actually left Ramo actually vulnerable to Gonza, and actually Gonza capitalizes on that that aggression from Ramo. He didn't use the optimal line here, and actually Gonza has capitalized on the superior line from himself and gotten himself up to P5, and now he'll be looking to chase down Titch to get that P4 position.
Sorry, I was going to say we went around the outside. It was Brass and Gaming went around the outside of Nana. That was a good move that there. That was confusing for me. I literally hit right trigger at the right time.
It's a shame we actually missed that on stream, which is a real shame. Harv actually getting that position over Pookie as well.
That being said, Nana also picked up a penalty just after it too. Ideal. I do wonder if Nana is being overly defensive, like I was saying earlier, about making up time whenever he isn't fighting anyone. He's now lost 10 seconds to Gunsis as he was fighting with Brass and Gaming. So it is interesting to watch. If maybe he's just a bit too defensive, and it might just be better to tuck in behind and battle along with that slipstream. Yeah, I get that. I always like to be able to follow someone.
And Griever gets a position over Cranks. Griever is caught up eventually with young Cranks, and actually has taken P2 away from Cranks. And now he'll be looking to chase down Blurb, but Blurb's created a 1.7 second gap between himself and these two drivers in P2 and P3. So Blurb's having a very, very good race. A very good week, to be fair, for young Blurb. Back-to-back races.
We have Harry looking to make a move by Fossey here. Gets the inside line. Fossey does go a little bit wide. He's still scrapping, no. And Fossey does then make it stick. Oh, as I say that, Foss. It looked like Fossey was going to come back at him there, sorry. But Harvey does make the move stick in the end there on the outside.
Red Panda has...
Is the game just bugged out? I don't say Brass and Gaming after session now.
So I actually think
Panda maybe quit on track.
No, I think he actually DNF'd on track.
The awesome. Let's see if we can figure out what happened.
But we will stick on board here with Young Griever just to see when he opts in to go full throttle.
I do wonder if he is on PC now that I think about it, because oh.
But forget about PC, it is off, we are away. Brass and Gaming has found himself spinning around here and losing a lot of positions on the safety car restart here. Do hopefully leave final corner. Ramo as well has found himself in a very, very tricky spot. He has lost going into turn 1. Pookie as well is down as well. A lot of big changes here across the entire grid here, folks. Check Ball is actually losing positions to Pookie and Nani as well.
I'm not sure if Check Ball let Ramo back through there, or if he just didn't have the grip. Not quite certain about that. It looked like he was being nice and pulling over a little bit, or maybe just sent the car too far wide. Who knows?
As Titch goes on the outside here of Young Gonza on the long right hand hairpin. He does get the position.
Ratchet Gaming has retired from the session. Not quite sure if he just binned the car or not.
But sorry to cut across. You and Gonza are going side by side here, wheel to wheel, approaching Magus and Beckett's. Who will come out ahead when you go into Magus Beckett's? Whichever is in front will have that optimal line and position. As there's contact between Yeet and Gonza on the front end of Gonza's car, and it does spin Yeet and I's car. I don't think that was anything malicious. It is just the conditions, I believe. I don't think that was anyone's fault. But we definitely will be having a look here after the session. But one driver to stick on board here with. Blurby's found himself in P5. He was on P9 here on the City Car restart. Found a few positions, but he has a bit of a mountain to climb, and he does have to fight both his teammate and young Titch here. Titch has had a blinder of a race.
Oh, what?
And Blurb has found himself getting in position over Gonza, but Gonza comes back at him here, going free Mackins Beckett's. And Gonza does stay ahead, but Blurb comes back. We're getting the worst camera angle in history here, folks. Blurb does come out ahead as we do exit Beckett's, but Gonza has got pace this race, folks. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does come back to both these ass boys.
Picking up a massive time penalty right there in that fight for top 3.
That really is massive, and now it's looking like potentially Blurb and Gonza, even Rabel could be in potentially for podium positions here, folks. I'm actually very impressed with Gonza's pace, to be honest. He got himself in a lot of battles, and he's created himself a lot of work here with his qualifying position, but Goes for a very, very impressive move here, going through turn 3 here. Blurb coming back at him. There is slight contact between both these drivers. Does look like it's just the conditions of the track. But Gonza does come out ahead. And Blurb plus himself here in the P5, in behind the AlphaTauri here of Gonza.
Not surprised in the last few top laps, but saying that, Blurb is making the move past Gonza, gets it done. Gonza is looking to come back in the inside here. It's very close. Blurb a little bit out wide on the curb. And Gonza does come back at him and gets it done. Good driving from both drivers there as we get some awful camera angle to try and see what's going on. Yeah, Gonza still has it. He is actually catching Titch out here a little bit too.
Yeah, Titch is a stick drift, I think, sent him a little bit wide. And Gonza almost stuck his nose in here, but he had to pull back ever so slightly just to avoid any contact.
With that fighting as well, Brabble is also pulling himself into that fight. 1.1 is the gap. Any kind of mistakes up there, and he will be ready to pounce.
Folks, as we do see Gonza and Titch going side by side here, through the right hand hairpin, approaching into the final chicane here. Gonza on the outside, taking as little space as he can, trying to avoid any contact, but Titch does have the upper line on the outside and does get the better racing line and does hold that P3 position for the time being. Brabble has found himself within the 1 second between himself and Blurb.
I think Cranks has just settled to keep it clean as well, because he was making small gains on Griever, but he also has that time penalty, so he'd be better off just slotting behind and not making any mistakes and causing himself any more time penalty issues.
And Blurb tried to stick his nose here in the turn 3 here on Gonza. Both these drivers have been battling here for the past 4 or 5 laps when that safety car finished. And Gonza gets that position over Titch. Goes on the outside. And finally gets himself up to P3 here on the track. But Titch comes back at him. But Gonza, like you've seen before, he followed what Titch done before. Got the optimal line on the outside on that there chicane. Held that optimal line and closed that gap for young Titch. And now we're on the final lap here, folks. This is where the moves need to be happening. Blurb is literally within 2 tenths of Titch. Brabble 8 tenths behind Blurb. Looking at penalties here, both Titch and Gonza will be losing positions here against Brabble as he is going through the final chicane of Silverstone. And he will be taking Division 2 Silverstone P1 in CBRL, followed by Cranks for 3 seconds. He should hold the P2 for the time being. Gonza in behind, trying to fend off the absolute wolves here, but he does have a 3 seconds, so he should move him down to potentially looking at P6. Blair will move up to the podium position, having back-to-back podiums. Rob up the P4. Gonza Titch down 2 positions in the P5 and P6. Hard following suit here in the P7.